Why does your car's AC stop cooling in the middle of summer? You might think it's just because your refrigerant is low or the compressor is not engaging. But these are not the most common reasons. These issues can cause your AC to stop working altogether, but they don't explain why the AC stops cooling but still blows air. There's a very common problem that most people overlook. And today, I'm going to show you what it is and how you can avoid getting stranded on the side of the road with a broken AC in the middle of summer. This video is going to be helpful for anyone who owns a car with an AC system, so make sure to watch until the end so you don't miss anything important. I run a repair shop, and this is one of the most common issues we see during the summer months. Customers will come in claiming their AC no longer cools like it used to, or it only blows hot air. And when we check the AC, we find that the system is low on refrigerant. However, there is a good amount of refrigerant in the system, but it's not circulating properly. The first thing we look at is the evaporator core, and we find that it is completely iced over. If you have an evaporator core that is iced over, it will and cool the air that passes through it, and your AC will feel cold at the vents, but it won't cool down the temperature. When this happens, many people think that their refrigerant is low and needs to be recharged. However, this is not the real problem. The real issue is that the airflow through the evaporator has stopped or severely reduced. And if you look inside the evaporator, you can see that it is filled with ice. Ice forms on the evaporator when the refrigerant inside the line is at a lower temperature than the air passing over it. In this case, the refrigerant inside the line is at 28 degrees Fahrenheit and the air blowing over it is at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. This causes the evaporator to act like a cold drink on a hot day, and the moisture in the air condenses into water, which freezes over time. In order for the AC to work properly, the evaporator must be able to transfer heat from the cabin air to the refrigerant, so that the refrigerant can absorb more heat and cool the air. But when the evaporator is iced over, this transfer of heat cannot take place and the AC will not work properly. So let us take a look at some of the most common causes for an evaporator to get iced over. The most common cause is a dirty cabin air filter. Over time, the cabin air filter can become clogged with dirt, dust, and pollen, which reduces the amount of airflow through the evaporator. When this happens, the AC will struggle to cool the air and may eventually stop cooling altogether. Another common cause of an iced-over evaporator is a blower motor that is failing. The blower motor is responsible for pushing air through the evaporator and into the cabin. But when the blower motor starts to fail, it can cause a restriction in airflow, which can lead to an iced-over evaporator. A third and less common cause is a frozen evaporator temperature sensor. The evaporator temperature sensor is located on the evaporator, and it sends a signal to the AC control unit. The control unit uses this signal to determine how much refrigerant to flow through the evaporator. If the sensor is frozen, it can cause the control unit to send too much refrigerant to the evaporator, which can lead to an iced-over evaporator. Now that we know what causes an evaporator to get iced over, let's take a look at how to prevent it from happening. The best way to prevent an iced-over evaporator is to change your cabin air filter regularly. Most manufacturers recommend changing the cabin air filter every 12,000 to 15,000 miles or 12 months, whichever comes first. You can check your owner's manual for the recommended service interval for your vehicle. If you want to learn how to check and change your cabin air filter, watch our video linked above. We'll show you step-by-step how to do it on most vehicles. Another way to prevent an iced-over evaporator is to have your AC system serviced every 2 years. This will ensure that the system is operating at peak efficiency and can help prevent problems before they start. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more great videos.